Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Morning.
What are you doing?
Good.
All right, Mary.
Morning.
Good morning. Marcella, good morning. David, good morning. Lindsay, Jackie, good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Adrian, good morning. How are you? Okay, awesome. I'm back. I am back. Happy to be back.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So let's start. Who wants to go first? Oh, Marcella got his camera back. Good. That's good. All right. Let's start with Lindsay. Lindsay, what's on your mind?
Mm. It's been a rough week. Just dealing with some challenging buyers, just low inventory, and just it's been rough. And my daughter's been sick and home from school, so I've been trying to work hard with a 4-year-old. So still
How's she doing?
productive, but
How's
she's
she
good.
doing?
She's got a sinus infection, so I couldn't send her to school. So yeah, it's just I really appreciate school and daycare because it's makes it rough to work with kids.
Yeah, I can relate to that. We're finally today our kids went back to school.
Like hallelujah.
They put up their unis,
Oh yeah.
got dressed up, fixed their hair, woke up at 6:30 instead of 7:30, 8 o'clock,
Right.
ready to roll. Yeah, so it was a good day this morning, I tell you.
Yeah. Good.
As far as working with the buyers, trust me, I'm working with the sellers right now and kind of feel exactly the same thing.
Really?
I mean, I put a listing on the market last week on, I think on Friday on 43rd Avenue in Norton, and we got gazillion offers on it. And my phone was just blown up the entire weekend. I mean, Friday, Saturday, I mean, nonstop from morning to evening, and then of course you have these crazy offers are coming in 15, 20, $30,000 above the asking price. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
you're gonna have praise, but
Are-
you have to present those offers to your clients, and now clients are getting all their hopes up because now they're thinking their house is worth $20,000, $25,000 more.
are the buyers signing the appraisal contingency, willing to pay out of pocket if it doesn't appraise?
That's exactly what we decided to do.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we decided to do. But then again, you know, um, it just makes things so complicated. And now I have to show them the house, and they're looking to buy in the $300,000 range. And I called two listing agents. One of them said, "Alan, don't even bother. My homeowners are just tired of showing in the last day or so, so they're done." And the second one, his wife is in labor, so he gave his phone to his sister, who's not a licensed real estate agent, and she's trying to explain what's going on. I was like, okay, all right,
Yeah.
now I feel how my agents feel.
Yeah, getting the beat down. The buyer beat down.
That's it. So what's happening then with your buyers? Is this the same buyer that you were working with before, like in
Well,
250 range?
yeah, I mean, I have a few. That one's challenging because, she's looking in the East Valley, really, Apache Junction, Mesa, 250, 255. She's got large amount down, conventional loan. We've wrote up numerous offers, even going in over and, signing the appraisal contingency. And we've just been beat down. I started going through some expired listings with her, asking her, which ones would be of interest, and I will contact them. And I haven't gotten anywhere with that yet. And then we got Labor Day weekend coming up. So, a lot of people, well, maybe not. I know she'll be traveling, so that weekend's shot. So yeah, it's just been rough. I've been working with her since May.
Mhm.
Yeah, May or April.
Is it really her? What, you know, she's very picky, or you know, is just, you know, I know there's just a lack of inventory.
Yeah, well, it's the first offer we submitted was in Queen Creek, gorgeous house, but accepted. We had an accepted offer, and then she couldn't get her job to transfer her out this way because she works in Mesa, and it was too much of a commute. So we actually had one. And then the other 3 or 4, we've just been beat down by investors coming in cash, closing in 2 weeks, you know, or just, you know, a better offer. I don't know. I mean, she's going to put down, you know, at least 30 to 40. And it's the price range too, you know, 250, you've got a lot of investors looking at it, looking at those types of properties, and cash is king. So, and my other buyer, that I met with yesterday, meeting again with over the weekend, they need to sell. It's a married couple. They need a house that's more functional, 1 story, and they've got tons of equity in their home. They would walk away and make bank. But, you know, her struggle is can we find a home that we love? And they would be going conventional, but with the contingency that their home sells. So I know that's gonna, you know, be a challenge, but their price ranges would be a little bit more, you know, I mean, they could go pretty high, but I think comfortably 354. And the husband is only going to bite and on this if the house is like, you know, got it all. It's more so the wife that wants to sell and buy another. So we're, you know, trying to, you know, we've got to find something that's perfect for him too. Otherwise he's not going to want to agree to it. So,
well, the challenge with that, of course, is the fact that if they do find something that is perfect and they're not ready to pull a trigger on it, right, because their house is not on the market, most likely that house is going to be gone within 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah.
Right,
I mean, with your buyers and sellers, though, are you waiting to list kind of last minute? Because, I mean, they'll be gone. They'll be homeless. So in reality, you've got to find that house because you could be hunting for a year. And
well, here's the way I kind of approach my conversation with my sellers that are also buyers is I set the expectations ahead of time. Like when I met them, right, the clients on 45th in Norton, I said, look, here's what's going to happen. Most likely, we're going to have your house under contract in a couple of days.
Yeah, exactly.
Multiple offers, right? The challenge is not going to get your house sold. The challenge is going to be able to find your next home.
Right.
So you got to be very flexible with your check boxes, right? You got to be very flexible with your criteria, right? And you also have to be prepared going over the asking price by as much as $15,000 or $20,000.
Right.
You also have to be very much available and flexible with your schedule. So if something pops up on the market, you know, we cannot wait a day or two. We cannot wait until the weekends. We have to do it right away. You know, and then ultimately, as far as protecting them from being homeless, well, we want to do the close of escrow at least 45, maybe 60 days. Okay. We also want to make sure that we give them at least 4 or 5, maybe 6-day post-possession agreement. Okay. On top of that, you know, but ultimately they just have to be again understanding of what's going on, and they're going to have to overpay. They have to be very aggressive with their schedule going out there and looking at homes.
Right.
You know, and then I think motivation is important. I mean, my clients, they're motivated to sell. You know, she's working from home right now. They have a 3-bedroom. She needs an office space.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so right now her setup is in her dining room area.
Right.
It's just not practical. It's not ideal. So she wants to have a 4th bedroom that she can convert into the office. That is her motivation.
Yeah. That's the same thing with my gal too, is she needs a better spot for business.
Right.
Um,
So
yeah,
having that conversation with them and being honest with them and say, look, we're going to sell your house pretty quickly. We may have a challenge in finding your home, but we got to be flexible with everything.
mm-hmm.
Right. But the beautiful thing about it, they are going to be walking away with a lot of proceeds, right? Like you said,
Yeah,
they have tons of
yeah,
equity,
they bought years ago.
tons of equity. The interest rates are extremely, extremely low. Like for instance, my client, his credit score is over 800.
That's what theirs are too. Yeah,
So like his interest rate is going to be below 3%,
yeah,
right? So that's another thing because right now he's paying 4.35%.
yeah,
So he's going to be winning there as well. So you got to have that conversation with them, but also let them know that look, houses come on the market every single day. So if they don't see something today or tomorrow, something may pop on the market maybe a week from now.
right.
And if their house is not currently ready to go on the market or under contract, it's very hard. You know, because
So, I mean, but really finding them the home first before we even list it, because it'll be gone. I mean, so I just feel like it's going to be a while before we find something. How do you feel about submitting offers when you've only done virtual tours on the seller side? Because I've got, clients that have relocated and are willing to submit offers, doing virtual tours.
I've done it. I've done them several times, and I was able to
Yeah.
secure the property. Now the conditions were different.
Yeah. COVID kind of protects us with that.
Yeah.
I've had some pushback though, like, has your client actually walked the house? Have they, so.
Yes and no. I mean, look, I mean, there were virtual showings done during, the Great Recession where investors were buying homes left and right
Right.
without physically being there. I recently closed a house in Arrowhead Lakes. My clients are doctors. Both of them are very, very busy with their schedule. They just did not have the time to go
Yeah.
out look at that particular house, but they're familiar with the neighborhood. They're familiar with the floor plan. One of their friends actually lived in the same floor plan about 5-6 years ago. They really, truly wanted the house. We submitted an offer and were able to get that offer accepted. I don't believe, and David, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe there's anything in the contract that specifies that you have to disclose. Okay.
No, I've just had them ask, them looking at the lockbox records and, have you actually walked it? Are they going to pull out in the first 10-day inspection period? Is this going to be a waste of our time? And I mean, either way, they could pull out in the first 10. So
yeah, either way they can, pull out. And then as far as the lock boxes goes, I mean, I'm assuming when you say virtual, you're actually going to be there physically.
yeah, I am with my.
Well, you need a lockbox. The agent doesn't know whether you came there with a client or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. I mean, you're there physically. You're doing your due diligence. Obviously, you're using FaceTime or Face Messenger, whatever it is, right? But or Skype. You can do that. I've done it before.
Yeah.
Again, David, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there's anything in the that states that we have to disclose that
right.
the buyer did not see the house physically.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Ellen, I would like to add to Lindsay about the whole buyer sell situation. I've had a few buy sells and it's really hard, obviously, as you've stated, to get an accepted offer on a contingency when the house is not even listed for that matter. It's honestly quite impossible of a task to get accomplished right now with everything that's going on. What I've been able to do with my sellers is tell them that we need to list. I mean, obviously, after losing out on a few of them, they're kind of like, well, what gives? And I'm like, well, I told you in the beginning. But what I give them as an option is listing their house, put it on the market, get it under contract, but accept when you get your offer, counter and tell them that seller needs to get under contract on a new home within 2 weeks. If not, the contract is canceled. Right now, because there aren't a lot of houses, buyers might be okay with that, guys. With waiting out those 2 weeks, which entail is giving your sellers the time that they need to get under contract with a new home, but then your contingency is showing that the house is under contract because you are under contract with their listing.
Right.
And then you just, you know, you schedule your closings. But in the event that they don't find a house, then they're not going to be homeless because they can cancel out on that contract that they have on their home because you've already put it in there.
Yeah.
So there's like a clause that you can put in a counter giving them X amount of time to get under contract on their home. And if all parties agree, you correct me if I'm wrong, David, on this one. But if all parties agree, I mean, it should be okay to do that. And then that way you're kind of, you know, letting them, that way they're at ease that they're not going to be homeless. Because yes, their house is going to sell. Their house is going to sell within 48 hours. Like that, there's no doubt in my mind. But I think that sellers are at an advantage a little bit right now because we don't have a lot of inventory. So if you're going to tell that buyer's agent, hey guys, yeah, we're going to be able to go under contract, but I need a 2-week window, they might wait it out. Or, you know, do a lease back. I've heard about where they're doing lease backs, where they're actually letting them stay, like they're allowing them to stay when they're occupied. So just another idea, I guess, to throw out there, because you're going to be spinning your wheels with someone that needs to sell their house and it's not even on the market or under contract, Lindsay. Like you are spinning your wheels with those buyers right now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's frustrating.
So, yeah, it is. So it's going to take a few losses of houses that they really love for you to be able to will them back in and just throw that scenario at them and say, hey guys, this is an option if you guys are okay with it.
Right. Right.
So
yeah,
that's what I've been able to do for a few of mine.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah. I think it really comes back to the motivation, how motivated they are really to sell the house.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're not really truly motivated, or they're not on the same page. Wife wants to sell a house and the husband is like fine where he's at, and then it's going to be very hard. You know, they're both got to be on the same page.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Lindsay. Good luck. Hopefully you're going to get your buyer and the seller/buyer
Hopefully.
very quickly. All right. Okay. Who is next? We got Berenice is with us. Jackie, what's going on? What's in your mind? Nothing. Okay. No? You got on. Okay. Let me just unmute. You got on mute.
Oh, I'm on mute. There you go. I really have nothing going on. Just the same thing with the buyers. You know, I mean, it's just so tough to get those offers out there. And I was off last week, so I'm just following up today on, you know, the buyers from last week. And so I just have the same feeling. It's kind of, the market just kind of crazy.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it is crazy, but everyone deals with the same situation.
We're all in the same boat.
We're in the same boat. So the way to go about it, and hopefully diversifying your portfolio, concentrate more on the sellers. Focus more on the sellers. Try to get more listing appointments.
I mean, other than the obvious, I mean, of what's going on in the world today, I mean, these sellers, just what are we telling the sellers? I mean, how, you know, like we can't say it's a fire sale, everybody's got to move, or, you know, I mean, how are we going to help them to understand that they need to move other than just the congestion in the market? I mean, that's frustrating.
Well, so in any market, whether it's a hot market the way it is right now, right, or you know, a buyer's market in 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, right? There are going to be sellers that have to move. They got to move.
Right.
Okay, they got to move. They got to sell. Okay, if they really have a true core motivation, they're going to have to sell.
Right.
Okay, so it's our job to educate them on what's going on with the market, right? Obviously, everybody pretty much knows that the market is on fire. It's a seller's market, but we're assuming that every seller knows about it, and that's not
really the truth, I guess. Yeah.
So explaining to them what's going on with the market, explaining to them that look, they're 4.2, 4.3 million people living in Maricopa County, and there are only about 6,000 single family homes that currently on the market. That's not a lot of homes.
It's not a lot, no.
Letting you know that the interest rates, and I'm sure they're, again, they're hearing what's going on with the interest rates, but the fact that you can get an interest rate right now, 30-year fix at 2.85 or 2.75%. I mean, that's huge, right? Especially if, let's say, they got a really good credit and they're paying their interest right now at 4.2, 4.3, 4.5. Their next home at 2.85. I mean, that's a huge savings on a monthly basis, even though they're getting into a larger home.
Right.
They're getting into a larger home, but their payments are going to be very similar.
Mm.
You know, so that's that. And then, of course, you know, they can get a best possible top deal for their house right now. Top deal for their house.
And that's what they see, I guess.
Correct. But there are sellers that have to sell. There are sellers that have to move. There are sellers that you know, putting their houses on a market. We just have to find those people, right? So how do you find those people? Where do you find those people?
I'm hoping for Mojo. But on the streets, you know, every day looking for people, you know, I mean.
Yeah, it's got to be a combination of all those things. I mean, Mojo is a tool, right?
Yeah, it's a tool.
It's a tool, right? So Mojo gives you some information about the sellers, like for sale by owners, right? Every day it'll give you a list of for sale by owners. Also, Mojo will give you the ability to search for in a specific zip code or a neighborhood where it will generate phone numbers for you, so you can start prospecting those homeowners and let them know exactly what we just discussed right now. Hey, the market, I'm working with a bunch of buyers, cannot find something right for them. Have you considered selling your home? You know, so that's another way about it, right? Then you're holding open houses. You're doing open houses. There's a chance that you may come across a homeowner or maybe a neighbor or somebody who's looking to unload their house as well. Okay. Another place is, again, going to Mojo, absentee landlords, right? With this COVID moratorium, right? With forbearances, not only for mortgage, but also for the tenants, you have some absentee owners that are just haven't been receiving rents for the last 3, 4, 5 months.
They want to dump their house, yeah.
What about Airbnb, VRBO owners? Okay, I mean, again, where the things are right now, the travel is not as it was before. You know, their vacant homes are sitting on a market right now, right? They're not really collecting any rents, short-term rents. So that's another avenue to go about.
Yeah, I like that.
There are sellers out there. Again, you know, keep in mind there are sellers out there. We just have to have those conversations with them, and that means maybe we have to have more conversations. That means that we have to make a better case to them. That means you will have the same conversations that Lindsay is having with her sellers/buyers, or I'm having with my sellers and buyers. Like, look, we got to put it in the market, but we got to be very aggressive with our next home. Like, we got to be able to be very flexible, right? But that's how you're going to be able to diversify yourself from strictly being buyers to hopefully being 20, 30, 40, and maybe possibly eventually 50% sellers.
Right. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Exactly.
Thanks so much, Jackie. Okay. Let's continue. Who else? We got Martha, Adrian, Veronice, Marisol. What's on your mind?
Kind of the same thing as everyone's talking about. I already got one under contract, as I mentioned, but I'm still having a little bit of struggles getting the rest under contract, and especially because they don't have that mindset that they need to be aggressive with their offers. They have that mentality of, oh, sellers will have to pay my closing cost, and I'm struggling with that part. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's the mindset, right? But again, by going and unfortunately, you're almost gonna have to go there and show them houses and submit offers and then get rejected in order for them to understand what's going on. Now, these buyers that you're working with, I mean, are they renting right now? They live with family members. How are they paying for their house?
Yeah, they live with family, and that's the thing that it's on their mind. They say that if it's not meant for them, that they'll just keep looking. So I'm like, well, I'm not gonna show you homes forever either, but it's just hard to get them to know how the market really is. And just because their friend or whoever told them, oh, we got our closing costs covered, they expect the same.
Yeah, I mean, if they're living with their friends and they don't have that out-of-pocket expenses coming out every single month, right? And there's not that much of a sense of urgency.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to make the decision whether you want to continue spending your time and showing homes, you know, kind of spinning your wheels, or work with the buyers that are motivated. Work with the buyers that understand what is going on right now, and they cannot 100% rely on the seller concessions. They can't.
Right. So those are the ones I'm struggling with, but hopefully they'll get it once they see maybe another or two offers rejected, then
Okay.
they'll be thinking about it.
Yeah, that usually kind of works, right? So after a couple of offers that get rejected, and you explain to them what's going on, you explain to them that, you know, the house got 15 or 20 offers on it, start changing things. Or they may think that you're not doing your job and look for another realtor.
Yeah.
That's a possibility as well. I've been in those situations many times, right, before. So again, the best way to go about it is to find sellers. Find sellers. How long you been doing this, Marcel?
15 years.
How many?
15.
15 years? Okay, how big is your database?
I want to say like 300, 500, about.
300? Between 300 and 500?
Yeah.
Have you been in touch with them recently, like calling them, letting them know what's going on with the market, like in the last 3-4 months?
Here and there, I'll directly like call them, but my big thing is social media. That's how I kind of stay in front of them.
So social media is great. That's another avenue. Okay. Social media, you're letting everybody know that, hey, you're still in the business, you're doing this full time, you're a professional agent, you those deposits, right?
Yeah.
The problem with social media is that it's very unpredictable, because you don't know when they're actually going to message you and they're going to call you and say, hey, you know what, I saw your post from a week ago, I'm interested in selling my home, right? So what we got to do is we got to have obviously the passive way of doing things like social media, for instance, right? And then also proactive ways, right, of actually picking up the phone and calling them, checking on them. This is actually a great time right now for you to call and check and see how they're doing with COVID, with people losing jobs, getting sick and everything like that. This is a great opportunity for you to call them, check on how they're doing, how the family's doing. Also let them know that you joined a different brokerage, right? And then most likely they will ask you, hey, how's the market? But if they don't ask you how's the market, you let them know what's going on with the market. The point I'm trying to make is the fact that even if, let's say, they bought from you 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, their equity went up. Right? And not every single person that bought 2, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago are happy with their house right now.
Yeah.
I helped my clients on 45th Avenue in Norton, the house that you showed to your clients, helped them 3 years ago. And at that time, they were ecstatic. They bought that house for $215,000. They were super happy about it. But now they feel like that house is just too small for them, and they need something larger. They need something bigger. They need more rooms.
Yeah.
And that's 3 years. So I bet you in your database, out of those 300 to 500 people that you have in your database, I bet you if you start just calling 5 to 10 people a day, just checking on them, I bet you there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 potential sellers right there.
Yeah.
Or if they're not planning to sell, they may know someone that is thinking of selling. Okay, but you got a gold mine. You got a lot of people in your database. Let them know what's going on. Check on them. Call them. Send them a thank you notes.
Yeah.
With your business card, with your new business card. Okay, and you will see, you'll find some listings. You'll pick up some listings. You'll pick up some sellers.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, awesome. I didn't know you have such a big database.
Yeah, it's pretty big, but I don't touch it like I should.
Oh, you should
a
be
lot of
touching
them,
it. You should be touching it every day.
yeah, but I don't always add them to my database. So I just kind of go off of, oh, I remember this person. And then I start adding them as I remember them.
uh, are they all in your CRM by any chance?
Yeah, a lot of them are. And I'm trying to make it a better habit of adding everyone in there.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, dedicate an hour or so a day and start putting them in your CRMs, and then also tag them, because not every past client is the same, right? Like for instance, I classify my clients into 3 categories: hot, warm, and then cold.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the ones that are hot, the ones that are, give me referrals, they send me people, right, this and that, those are hot. I spend more time with those than I would spend with somebody who's cold.
Yeah.
So out of those 300, you may have that are maybe 150 that are hot,
Mm-hmm.
another maybe 100 or so that are warm, and then 50 that are cold.
Yeah.
Okay, so separate them, tag them, okay, and then just start following up with them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, the best way to combat working with all these buyers and everything like that is just trying to get listings.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I just get a lot of buyers all the time. And the buyers that I already closed, they seem to not want to move anytime soon. So I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, you will have some. You're going to have some that don't want to move, but you're also going to have some that have to move.
Yeah.
See, not every situation is going to be the same. Not everybody's going to say, the next 5 years or 10 years, I'm going to stay in the same house.
Mm-hmm.
Things happen. People lose jobs. People get jobs in different parts of the state. People get sick. People get divorced. I mean, divorce rate right now is like at least 50%.
Yeah.
Right? So all these things happen. So, if we're not in touch with them, if we're not checking on them, if we're not calling them at least twice a year, okay, there's a chance they may fall through the cracks and go with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And don't rely 100% on social media piece of it. I tell you why, because I got 3,000 friends, and I guarantee you when I post something, only maybe about 50 of them, maybe tops 100 of them actually see my post.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them don't. They don't. So not every single person in your database that is in your Facebook or your Instagram account sees your stuff.
Yeah.
That's another thing to consider.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm here. Thank you so much. Here to help. All right. Anyone else, guys, before we go? No? Carmen? Adrian? Marcelo? Martha?
Just ready to get going. I cannot imagine I won't be getting that darn card here in the next, it's got to be either today or tomorrow. And then as soon as I get it, I'm uploading my files to Adra. And, I already had my orientation call yesterday with Melissa. So that's good. She's already working on logins and everything else. And I've also been studying Sync through your Facebook. So I reviewed that video a few times to be familiar with the program, kind of hit the ground running and get started with that. So
that's awesome. And then, again, I'm assuming you got a sphere, you got people in your phone book that you want to reach out to, start letting them know your new career about, joining our team, joining our company.
Yeah, I have a buyer already. He's going to be looking more towards probably September. That's when he's going to really put most of his attention on it. We've kind of I've worked with Anna on sending some preliminary houses through the MLS. She did that for me. And now we just got to narrow down, try to find something, because inventory is light within his primary target area, which is like the Phoenix, Tempe, outskirts of I guess, Scottsdale, but not too far in. And his budget is about 270, 275. So kind of already got that working so far coming into the whole thing. We just have to figure out a way to nail it and find what he's looking for.
Okay, sounds like a plan. All right, Marcelo, great to have you on board. Okay, awesome, guys. All, anything else? No?
No, I just want to add that when we're trying to get sellers, be careful that we're, as you mentioned, advising them of the state of the market. We have one of our colleagues that has a client in a situation now where she can't get a new place. Part of that is due to credit and other issues, but that's going to be a problem. We want to make sure that we're fully disclosing that it is a tough market. We don't want to discourage them from selling, obviously, but we want to get both ends of the deal. You know, we want to get 2 sales out of it if we can, but we just need to give them proper expectations. It's, you know, obviously it's the ethical thing to do, and it'll save you from having to deal with fight arguments and why did you have me sell my house and all that kind of stuff down the road. So just be careful.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thanks, David. Appreciate it. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for your time. Very much appreciate you. And let's have a great day, okay?
Bye.
Bye.